Christian Bayman. This is at the Oscars Neat Sherry Fabrication.
Yeah, Holland & Sherry is in our corporate umbrella. They are the very finest mill in the world that makes cloth, and they supply us that make the suits with our cloth. Holland & Sherry is over 200 years old. They are on Savile Row, and their mill is actually in Scotland, which is a mill that we own. But they make exquisite cloth. Right now, for example, if you want to pan over, this is just an example. This is worsted spun vicuna, which is the very finest suit made in the world. There's only 15. We can make 15 suits out of this.
15 suits, that's it?
That's it, in the world. And this we just had launched. It's very exclusive. And cost on these suits, I think, are around the $70,000 range. That tells you how exclusive it is for a suit. So very
now, he told me that you guys make a suit, or actually you provide the materials for a suit that's $70,000.
Well, that's one of them.
One of
it happens to be the finest cloth that we've ever created. You know, for many years we've said that we have the finest cloth in the world. In fact, it's part of our logo. It says the finest cloth in the world. So we said, well, you know what? We must have the absolute finest there is in the world. And vicuna is the finest fiber in the world. Natural fiber from an animal that lives in the Andes in Peru. And what we have done is with our particular vicuna almara, have spent 3 years collecting the very finest fiber, and just enough to make what we call 3 pieces, 65 yards of each, one in black, one in navy, one in natural vicuna. So we can only make maybe 14 or 15 suits from each color, and that's it.
Wow, talk about being exclusive.
Well, there are no degrees of exclusive, but it is exclusive.
That's true.
It's very, very special, and it inevitably commands quite a serious financial consideration.
I would say so. So can we see the material? Can we touch it?
With us here, I only have a very small swatch of it, but when you feel this, it's absolutely sublime. It's quite extraordinary.
It's absolutely exquisite. That is so incredibly soft.
And of course, we recommend to our customers around the world that it's only made in the very finest manner. So we will make it only with absolute hand tailoring, with the finest of canvas and hand stitching, with silk thread and so on. And of course, it is a renewable resource. The vicuna was put onto the endangered species list in 1966 because the herds of vicuna were so depleted because people had to kill the animal in order to harvest the fiber. So it went on the endangered species list, and it became illegal to export it from Peru and import it into other countries around the world, including, of course, the United States. But in the interim years, in the late 60s, 70s, 80s, and into the 90s, the Peruvian government encouraged the villagers to respect the vicuna. They'd learned how to actually maintain them in captivity. So each village is responsible for a certain number of animals. And now it's a renewable resource. A few years ago it was taken off the endangered species list, and it's really extraordinary how remarkable it is. It's good for the animals, it's good for the villagers, it's good for the economy of Peru, and it's also good for people who want the very finest that's available in the world.
Oh, it's exquisite.
And what we did, I might finish if I may, just you know, there are other worsted spun vicunas, but what we did was we wanted only a longer staple length of fiber so that the fabric itself would perform better, and therefore the finished suit would perform better, or a blazer or a pair of trousers when it's made, tailored. So we actually discarded 40% of the fiber that normally would be included as part of the worsted spun vicuna. Now we're going to use it for something else. I mean, we don't just discard it. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a woolen spun jacket cloth out of that, because when you spin in the woolen system, you don't need as long a fiber, because you don't have the smoothness. So it'll be a hairier fiber, and it'll be a more interesting cloth in that respect. It'll have loftiness to it. But we will use that discarded 40% for that project. We don't have enough of it yet, so we're going to have to wait probably another 3 years to get enough to make another 3 pieces, and then have enough to make some of the woolen spun as well.
How long did it take to gather the materials for this?
It took us 3 years.
3 years?
So literally we can only gather enough material a year for this project, this fineness, to make one piece, 65 yards of cloth.
Wow.
I mean, it is absolutely the cloth of kings. And,
yeah, I can see that.
It was the cloth of the Inca kings, and it's now the cloth of kings and titans of industry, as well as real kings and queens.
And you learn it a total appreciation. And I would say you'd feel like a king wearing those clothes.
Oh, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. It's beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.